Hello and welcome back to another episode of Transformation Education. If you are new here, please don't forget to give me a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel to see how I do all these crazy transformations. So this is the before photo. I haven't seen my client for about one whole year at this point. All that hair up the top that you can see is just her natural regrowth, and the rest is level 10 that's been lightened up from previously. Most of the time I like to take the hair in 4 sections and I'll begin foiling at the back. Here I've mixed up bleach, 20 volt and a bit of Olaplex as well. And I'm going to use my Teasy balayage technique, but I am going to take this nice and close to her roots because it is quite likely that I won't see her again for another 6 to 12 months. So this is the technique that I use most of the time. I just call it my Teasy balayage technique. Basically, I'll just put a nice strong tease in there first to help diffuse that line, and then I'll feather in the bleach as well, just to create a nice blend. This is bleach, 20 vol and Olaplex that's going on here. I'm trying to be really thorough with my saturation, but you don't want to overlap onto the hair that has been previously lightened, so being very cautious of that. I'll just push that hair to the side of the foil so that it's being left out and there's no overlapping that's going to occur. You may notice in this one I am taking my sections on the finer side as well, and that is just because I want to get maximum lift. If you want to see more about this Teasy balayage technique, I do actually have a tutorial specifically for this on my YouTube channel. I may just drop a link down below for you if you would like some more technical information on how I do this. I'll just leave that in the description for you. The key here is to just really thoroughly saturate. You can see my foils here are nice and fine. I can see through them to the other side of the foil. That's good if you want to get maximum lift. And just super thorough application. I'm going back and forwards over it. I'm separating the hair, kind of spreading it open and just really making sure that I saturate that thoroughly. An application like this is quite time consuming. It usually takes me at least 2 hours just to get the foils in the hair, because it's essentially double the work. It's not just a standard full head of foils. They call this a platinum card usually. I've tried to fast forward this a little bit for you because I realize how time consuming it is and you may not want to sit there for 2 hours and watch me. So bear with me as I fast forwarded this a little bit for you, but I'm basically just repeating the exact same techniques as I showed you in the beginning, and I'm just going all the way up the head. I do like to put in a little bit of an angle when I'm coming up around the face, just slightly, nothing major. Quite often I'll end up bumping up my peroxide as I come to the front, so I started off with a 20 vol, but usually once I get up here to this section, just kind of past that temple, I will actually change the peroxide and I'll mix up some 30 vol as well. It's good to get into the habit of just mixing fresh bleach every so often so that it's not sitting in the bowl and oxidizing. Usually I'll go through about 4 or 5 bowls of bleach for a full head of application. And also by the time I have finished this, it's quite common that the back foils are actually ready to come out, and it's just good if you can keep checking the whole way through. I really would recommend just every 10 minutes just going back and having a look and just making sure that the hair is okay and everything's processing up okay. This is the final results. It gets very heavy in there for the client. And now I'm opening up this foil and just checking and having a look in the back. Very nice and light. And I'm making the decision now to start taking out some of those foils in the back that are already processed. Quite often I will end up rinsing these separately. I'll rinse the back and then I'll let the front process for a little bit more. You just have to kind of take it as it comes. Every situation is different, and when I'm working with such a big job, it's impossible to just sort of set a timer. I just kind of roll with the punches. And I'll only ever take one client when I'm doing a job this big. I believe this one took me 6 to 7 hours in total to complete from start to finish. Once the whole thing was ready to come out, I've washed it with some purple shampoo just to give it a bit of a pre-tone, and now I'm going to apply a root fade. I'm quite confident with my blend. I'm really just doing this to just 100% make sure that that blend is perfect for my client. I am just being a little bit more fussy. Normally I wouldn't bother, but in this case I just really want to make sure that that blend is perfect, so doing this to be safe. And another thing you may have noticed is that I didn't actually bother doing a bleach bath through my client's ends this time. I was quite aware of the damage that was already kind of there on her ends, and I didn't want to stress the hair any further, and I also didn't really need to because of the chosen colour. There was no need for me to strip that out because I knew that the tone of blue that we wanted would go over that fine without a problem. Now here I've made my first mistake. I forgot we actually wanted to do the orange on top, so I've just wiped the most of that product off. Just disregard that. I'm going to pretend it didn't happen and just carry on. Sometimes that's just the best way. I have dried this hair off 100% as well, which is most of the time I will apply Vivids to 100% dry hair. That is the best result that you're going to get, and it will just help you avoid any patchiness. So here I'm melting in 3 colours. I've got my coral, I've just got some clear, which is just plain old conditioner, which I'm using in the middle to help me kind of as a transfer. So I don't want to blend these colours together, obviously, because orange and blue are opposites on the colour wheel. If I were to blend them together, we would get a not so nice muddy kind of colour. So I'm using clear or conditioner as my transitional colour, if that makes sense. And you'll want to kind of stagger things when you're doing this. So some of the orange pieces I'll be taking lower, some of them I'll take higher. And the idea is to just create that staggered effect and help you avoid that harsh line. Help everything blend a bit better for you. And this is the final finished result after application. This is how it looks. I like to use the mesh sheets just to help me separate sections. I've really been preferring mesh sheets lately to foil because you can see through them, they're lightweight, they're comfortable, and they're reusable. Now I'm going to rinse this just with cold water, and I'm not going to shampoo it, I'm just simply rinsing it. And this is the finished result after it's been straightened. You can see that blend. I mean, these colours aren't going to blend, but that's quite a good result, I would say, for two opposing colours. We were super happy with that. Nothing like adding in a few curls though for the Insta Glam. I always like to curl my colours just because they always look so much better. Here's that before and after photo again for you, just for reference. And also the finished results styled and in natural lighting, shaded outdoor lighting. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Transformation Education. I really hope you've enjoyed that. Please don't forget to give me a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can be the first to know about my next one. Bye for now.